the sheer mental torture that I went through as a kid, the fear.
I was abducted by my mother.
That is the first time I remember knowing what depression was, being completely sad.
12 to 1,500 American children are taken by one parent from another parent who has the legal right to have the custody of the children. And I'm not talking about just fathers, talking about mothers too. There's no discrimination in gender here.
My mother is trying to turn us against my father. The way I look back on it is that we were being treated not as developing human beings, but as weapons.
The images of just my mother's face faded away.
Parental alienation is a situation where one parent will train their child to look at the other parent as evil. And the parent who does this is doing it for their own ends. The end result is the child hates the other parent, tells the courts that the other parent is doing bad things, whatever that is, that aren't necessarily true. And all this is being trained. They're being trained to say this, to think this, and to really believe this by the parent that's, doing this to them.
She really wanted to punish him by having us not wanting to see him. And we were used as weapons by my mother to get back at my father.
Victims of Another War came out of my personal experience, actually. I have 2 children, and between the ages of 2 and 15, I didn't see them. And though I had legal right to see them, she decided that I wasn't going to see the children again. I was involved with the German court system for 13 years. It was awful. I think what I'd like people to come away from the film is not just an informational point of view, but an emotional point of view. What I tried to do with the film that we made, Victims of Another War, and what I'm trying to do with the new film, is to not just put you in the shoes of the characters from an informational point of view, but I want you to feel what they felt.
I didn't get one word from Cecilia's father. Not the telephone, nothing.
I was a victim of abduction and alienation, and suffered my own traumas.
Taken is quite different from the first one. The first film, Victims of Another War, was really strictly from the point of view of the child who grew up and that is now an adult. What we're trying to do with Taken is looking at this from a 360 point of view, which is all the family members. It's the child who was abducted, it's the parent they were abducted from, and it's the abductor.
He's not doing very well at all. I'm full of emotion and sadness.
I really like stepping into other people's shoes. I can experience people and events and situations that I never would have been able to experience. I can intimately get involved with the subject in a real way. And that's why I like documentaries, to look at them, and I really like making them.